And we are back with our second game coming up shortly. 9Pandas, a very, very dominant first game performance from them. Danog, hopefully we get a little bit more of an even second game here between the two teams.
Hopefully. I mean, you got to try and pull out all the stops to be able to beat a team like 9Pandas, right? So maybe they were thinking, okay, maybe someone's going to go a little bit too far forward on this first blood attempt. Maybe we could pick them off. They were the ones to get the Observer Ward down first, but they weren't able to retreat in time to really get it on their terms. So it seems like a weird thing to say when it was an 18-minute GG, but the smallest things can just snowball into being so much more when you're going up against a team like that. You really can't afford to make any mistakes.
Yeah, and that's why I was maybe like bringing up the question of if they should put a lot of emphasis on lanes and stuns just to make the game a little bit easier up against probably the best team right now in Eastern Europe.
Yeah, I mean, the bans in that game one were actually a little bit different from what EEU typically do. Like, they typically ban heavily to be able to protect Palantimos, but they really weren't doing him any favors with picking that Spectre, right? You knew that they had decent rotations for him through the Quap, through the Spirit Breaker, and it's not an easy lane, spec into SB. Like, you just don't put the pressure on that you need to be able to stop SB from snowballing. He's basically like the old Quap, where if you just don't have an early game, it's kind of hard for you to be able to claw your way back in, but clearly it just went well from Miro from basically start to finish. He was diving tier 2s at 10 minutes.
10 seconds remaining.
Clearly, they're getting rid of it. That's the main concern.
5 seconds remaining.
So I wonder what they want to pick up now for Pandas. I mean, you have the pick of the litter. There's
the other ban was Storm, I think, in game one. Was the other thing that they got rid of. So maybe, again, techies, it's just good, right? Like, Solo doesn't really play it that much, but you could throw it to him if, like, there's the perfect matchup for it. And I think it does open you up to potentially go for this Kiyotaka Storm Spirit, or even the Tinker, if you're wanting to, right? Like, we haven't seen any Tinker bans so far, and they've got the last pick of this first phase, so I really wouldn't be surprised if that's something that looks to come out for him.
Storm Spirit!
Got a bit of a block pick for the Storm instead, of course, the Mana Battery as well, but is that enough? Are they going to be dissuaded from picking this one up? Nope, they're just going to go for another Kiyotaka Queen of Pain and a pretty standard lane counter as well. I see a frown on your face. What's up?
Do you like this Storm pick?
No, but again, like, it was clearly something that they were worried about in game number one with them banning it out in the first phase, and I legit think it's a block pick. So they've gone for at least a strategy, right? Pugna, Storm, you can make plays around it, but picking it when you've got the opportunity to counter it, probably not the best decision. You know, if I'm them now, I'm banning out that Bloodseeker right now, because I really feel like that's one of the few things that's going to be able to prevent this Quap from having a really solid game.
My concern is I think you're going up against players that are
Radiant team
a little bit more mechanically gifted than you currently, and you had the potential to have winning lanes with second pick. You could have, 18th and 24th pick overall in the draft. You could have had some really good counter matchups in regards to the cores. So I would not have hated for them to go like their off lane, just 4+3, and then save the mid and the carry to try and counter pick Pandas. Because now, I mean, we saw what happened last game with Kiyotaka on the Quap versus the Ember. I can't imagine it's going to be any different in this lane, so
that wasn't really Ember's fault, though, right? Like, I thought Ember did pretty decent in that game number one, at least from the laning stage. Like, he dodged out a lot of those daggers in the lane, which is very important. Remember, like, Solo TP'd twice to that lane to refill the bottle. He didn't get any help from the supports because the side lanes were just getting crushed incredibly hard. There's not really much you can do if the other lanes are just losing that hard. So maybe that was their mentality, right? Pick something for mid lane that's going to enable him to have a game, like if the game goes on, and then just secure the side lanes. You know, like you said, they've got second picks, so maybe they're just wanting to get out on the better side of that. I think whatever pick 9Pandas reveals here, again, it's probably going to be well, who knows what it's going to be, but they're just going to look to directly counter it after each stage, right? Yeah. If they pick the off lane in these next couple of picks, then they're going to go their safe laner, and vice versa.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. I'm concerned that I feel like it's right now there's a lot more off laners that you can pick up first phase and still have a good game with Vanguard. So we'll see. I think there's a lot of pressure, I think, on Shurg right now. Like you're going to get a counter matchup against what Ramses and Solo will have. So I think he really needs to capitalize on that advantage.
That's probably what they're talking about in the banning phase now, right? Like side lane cores, what don't you want to face? I don't want to face Alchemist, like you mentioned. It's just feels way too strong right now in terms of what it's able to do just with the 1 point in the concoction even. You don't even need to level up the Grievel's Greed anymore. Great. So you can just look to max out the Acid Spray and the Unstable. And Magnus can be pretty oppressive as well, right? You get the Empower. You can just shove out any sort of melee heroes from the lane. Feels kind of rough. And, you know, of course, you've got the scaling ability too.
Yeah, I think that's also a hero that still is undiscovered in the way where I think he can be flexed to 1. Last night, Dyrachyo tried it. Well, it worked out. I believe it worked out. Gladiators, I'm almost certain, won that game where Dyrachyo was playing the Magnus. I think it's very similar to the Void Spirit, where I think Mick even played it yesterday as well for 1. I think just a lot of the universal heroes, we're seeing the Wind Ranger kind of attempted to be carry, but haven't seen Mag. You don't like that?
I hate the Wind Ranger. The Mag is fine. A little bit of a tidbit. I was having a look through some of Ramsey's more recent games. He has played 6 games of Magnus in the core role, position 1 role rather. He's lost all 6, but he's played it, so it's something that they might look to go to down the line, but not this game with EEU banning it out. So really, now the question is, the ball is in 9Pandas court, right? Like, they get to choose how they're going to go about this next little thing. And again, EEU just go for another pretty strong laner in the Batrider, right? That they just did not want to face. So, what do we even do? Just to keep it open? Some kind of additional stun to be able to, you know, make Quap have a less rough day. I still wouldn't hate the Rubik here, you know? There's some good spells to be able to steal, even just with the Techies and a Quap shown.
Dire team pick.
Bounty Hunter.
It's fine.
Is it?
It's fine. Dude, 3.2 seconds of stun is pretty good. You just got to make sure that it's a good lane. And what it also does is, you don't know where this Pugner's going. It could be 4, it could be 5. Same sort of thing with the Bounty Hunter, so it makes 9Pandas have to be very cautious about what sort of position 1 they pick, what sort of offlaner they pick. Because if it's like a melee one, then you can have a pretty rough time into the Bounty, even as a support. It could even be like a position 3 Bounty, right? So there's options there. I really don't hate this pick.
And again, it's got to be said, it's also a block pick as well. So there's also that to mention. Awesome. We're going to get an axe. So this is a hero that I saw a little bit over in Western Europe as well, getting picked up.
Pure plays it a lot as well, so I'm expecting to see that later today, but I just wasn't expecting Miro to pick it up right now.
There's your follow-up. So you got Axe Jakiro, incredible combo. A lot of damage. Solo loves this hero as well. So it's a very big Jakiro player. Great laner, which is a big thing. And well, if you had the Rug wear the bounty, you would have been loving life. They will get, I mean, it's a pretty good life stealer game with what you were able to do. The matchup between the Axe early on can be a little bit awkward. In fact, I wonder.
It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it lets him stay in the lane. It lets him farm. He shouldn't get crushed here. What are they going to ban? More Fling PA? That's who I would do. Maybe Monkey King as well as another option. Definitely more Fling.
Dire team back.
Yeah, I like the Monkey call.
Just because the PA might have a bit of a rougher time against the Bounty Hunter.
Yeah, I'm just concerned on PA Jakiro lane. I feel like
it's strong, man.
Is it strong? Okay.
Yeah. It's super oppressive.
Ooh, are they gonna Faceless Void? I mean, that Venoban seems like that would be a pretty good.
I mean, it might just mean that they're wanting to go some kind of melee that's going to have a rough time into it, you know?
10 seconds remaining.
I'm still up in the air. Like, I think they've got multiple options here for 9Pandas. It's just a question of, do EEU feel confident enough to be able to flex this Bounty Hunter to a 3? If they do, they can punish 9Pandas if they try and get a little bit greedy here. Jakiro is a very, very strong laner, right? So it can prevent a lot of that harass coming out from the BH, but a good BH player will still be able to make it work.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, so now you're considering about what the hero needs to be for Ramses, with not seeing the offlane, like you said, the potential for the bounty. So is it just, what are they kind of lacking that maybe Ramses needs to pick up here?
I think they just need a way to be able to deal with this lifestealer, to be honest, right? Like, it's a good game. He should get enough out of the lane. It probably is a sort of game where you want to go like a BKB as well, just to be able to continuously just stay in the middle of that fight. You're probably going to be able to outlast 9Pandas, considering you've got the Pugna mana battery. So, yeah, again, just something that's going to be able to deal with that, I think, is the main priority. They've gotten rid of the Morphling, which is the main one. They do go for the Faceless Void, okay. They don't have to, like, amazing combos together with it, but clearly it's just a Ramsey special and a Viper coming through. So it's a little oppressive. Do they have the... I really wouldn't hate to see Antares just start down at bottom and look to try and get a few early kills onto Shograt here. I think they've got the tools to be able to do it for sure.
Yeah, I have some concerns that if the Viper lane doesn't completely obliterate the Void, that they're going to have some difficulties to play aggressive early. Do you feel like the Pugna, Storm, and Bounty is a good enough trio to be running around with a Viper having a maybe not as good of a game, and the Lifesteal, of course, won't be getting active?
Okay, so there's a few things that need to happen, basically. Sure. The lane needs to go well. It doesn't need to go amazingly well, but it needs to go well for EEIKUMNIHAO so that Bexon has the freedom to be able to walk over, get his Wisdom Rune, and then get that track up. Once you've got the track, you need that rotation that you were talking about, right? The Storm Spirit coming through. But my issue is that the Storm Spirit is going to get bodied in that mid lane, so that when he actually makes these rotations, Storm's going to be lacking damage. You won't actually be able to kill anyone. So I think lanes, especially mid lane, need to go better than expected for EEIKUM for them to have any shot.
Which is... maybe then we have to speak about the side lanes as well. Like, they have to go incredibly well, where we could see Bexon secure water runes, power runes. Mary could even TP in, refill the bottle a couple of times. So we'll see what they're going to be able to do. But for EEIKUMNIHAO, I mean, this is your backs against the wall. You lost game 1. They're also 0-2 just overall in the
haven't won a game,
stages.
let alone a series. So 0-5 technically, right? So it's and the teams that they've faced have been some of the like mid-table ones, but you know, this is a real test, and clearly they got tested quite hard in that game number 1.
Yeah, that they did. So let's hear a word from EGB before we get into the second game.
Bets on esports, bets on streamers, impressive bonus system. Welcome bonus up to $600, cashback, artifacts, regular promotions, daily giveaways. Try yourself as a bookmaker. Great lines. EGB.com, more than just a bookmaker.
It's rough as well for these boys, right? You started 0-2. Your losses were up against one move and then up against Namiga. And then in your third series, you're going up against the top dogs. You're going up against 9Pandas. You see the odds aren't even favoring them as well. EGB, of course, very much into the 9Pandas territory. So it's this could be a difficult road for them for EEIKUMNIHAO if they're going to start the season off 0-3 as this Div 2 promoted team.
Yeah, but Eastern Europe, it's getting stronger and stronger, right?
Definitely.
Like, ever since Spirit obviously won TI, there's been that huge spike in interest and growth in the region. But, I mean, if you weren't playing up against 9Pandas, you'd be playing Spirit, you'd be playing Bet Boom, and they're no easy beats either.
I think this could be... What?
Go on.
I'll wait, because we might have a bounty fight.
No. I want to hear the hot takes.
No, well, I was going to say, who do you think is the second strongest region currently?
Oh, good question. Overall, or the best ones of the region, you know?
Overall.
I mean, it's not an A, guys. But I mean, SA have a very strong top 2, but it does drop off fairly heavily. C has a very strong top 1 and not as big of a drop off. So I'd probably say Eastern Europe, to be honest.
Yep.
Like their top, let's say 4 feels pretty solid. I think China's an easy 3rd.
Easy 3rd, you reckon? Well, hold that, because Bexon's just gonna...
Tri-lane.
Yeah, I mean, this is what you love to see. You brought it up from Pandas, wanting to try and start off to secure the lane versus the Viper. For Schiffer Rams is under the...
They knew it was coming. So that's why they set up with a tri-lane of their own.
Who does this favor, at least to start the game?
You'd have to say 9Pandas, right? Like, Ramses, if he wants, can look to go a point in the time dilation at level 2, just because that's going to be really effective against this lane. We know that Viper really gets those big power spikes once he hits every odd level, and if you've got 2 other heroes soaking that XP, it's going to be much rougher. And then Solo, just with the dual breath, and Taras, once he gets the blast off, and even just the sticky bomb, it's a lot of AoE damage that they have to be able to get a lot of this harass off.
And it's really important the fact they haven't blocked the small, the hard camp. Both of these are open for Pandas, and like you just said, experience is vital in a tri lane, and now the fact you're going to be getting a little bit more thanks to the neutrals, even denying it away from the enemy team. So that's going to be a big advantage. Even just the equilibrium in itself to be closer towards the Tower of 9Pandas.
Yep. Got one level 2 on Antares. Ramses and Solo might be about to hit theirs. They do. Let's see if they instant look to make a move up here. Ramses doesn't have anything leveled up just yet. Looking to wait to see if they commit a bunch of spells. Yep, there's the time dilation.
Might be able to get the turnaround though. Atari is still falling low, so it's going to be a 1-for-1, but of course 9Pandas do strike first, being able to secure first blood, and it's Ramses that finds it as well, so that's going to be huge for the Faceless Void in this matchup, who again is much more favored for the Viper.
And again, it was the Viper that they got the kill onto as well, right? That can't be underappreciated as a kill. So not only does Ramses get the first blood, he also denies away some of the experience that he would have got from Antares being able to get that kill as well. And now he brings him over a bunch of goodies as well. He's got the Boots of Speed in the backpack right now on Ramses, but they really do want to just chain this kill after kill. Again, like you mentioned, small camp not blocked, so Antares, if he wants, can look to make a pull happen. Crappy camp, but it'll do. Oh, perfect pull as well.
Mid lane, Shira Jr. is in a lot of trouble. Kiyotaka's going to go for the kill with a Fairy Fire exchange. He's still got the Vortex to work with. Shira Jr. beautifully done. Able to come out on top. That's a big kill to find him. Might even get the courier as well. What's going on here? All right.
That's the sort of thing that he had to do though, right? This is what I was talking about. You needed to get some sort of outperformance out of the laning stage, and Quap crushes Storm, but just getting a little bit too confident with that advantageous matchup was Kiyotaka there. Able to quickly shove out the lane and get all the way back to base, get a quick refill. Nicely done by Chira Jr.
I do want to speak about bottom. We might not get a chance as...
I don't think much will be happening down there. It's just a farm fest.
No, but I just...
neither could do anything to each other.
But I want to highlight, I think this is very favored for Miro because he's going to get the wave and the neutrals around it, which is huge. He's going to have an incredible Vanguard blink timing where he can get super, super active, whereas the Lifesteal, like, he can only farm the wave.
Yeah, no, it makes a lot of sense for sure, especially if you're wanting someone to be there to be able to counter out this eventual Storm with Mana Battery.
It's like just maybe some harass from Antares. There wasn't a real follow-up.
Yeah. Let's put the second point in the time walk. So, just looking for survivability for now. Solo might have gone a little bit too deep. Although, turnaround.
It's a huge point in the time dilation. All abilities have already been casted. Jackson's not going to end up going down. Back and forth, a lot of the abilities getting traded between the two. Shogat continuing to fall low. He's got a big one to look to utilize those, so they might try and bait this one out.
Radiant's middle tower
almost run out of regen as well on 9Pandas, so with the lane shoved in, they should be able to get a couple of pulls off, you would hope. Never mind. There's no creeps to pull.
Go on, Tyrese.
Thought he might look to go for a blast off, but yeah, like I mentioned, was out of regen entirely. Solo just got clarity gone, no tangos.
Miro might get solo killed. No TP to work with. Palantimus with the phase boots back up. He's going to be able to chase him down. That's a huge kill. Palantimus, a much better time than what we saw in the previous game. Who needs a Spectre? You've got this Lifesteal, and it's top of the net worth. So, I mean, that kill is a big reason why.
Yeah, for sure. What's happened with Storm, though? Like, he was forced all the way back to base, despite the fact that he got that solo kill onto the Queen of Pain. Kiyotaka is still ahead. You know, he's got a good 200 advantage over Storm here. Almost is level 6, so I suppose that's the one thing that Shira Jr. has got ahead of him right now. If it wasn't nighttime, he would have been able to get that zip off and interrupt the TP coming up top from the Queen of Pain.
He's got 6
now.
now.
Get the Sonic Wave, yeah.
It's going to commit it. Mary might die to the neutral. No, gets the push away as well from them. So Kiyotaka, beautiful rotation. Probably going to get his clarity yoinked pretty shortly.
They're trying to bait this, I think.
Actually, they're even going to move over from Chiro Jr. Blinks up in a couple seconds. Should be able to get some distance away, but there's still mana to work with though on Chiro Jr. They need the support to protect Kiyotaka, and that's where Ares comes into play with a beautiful blast off. They get to deny though, Bexon. Very nicely done. And now Mary's going to try and chase down Kiyotaka. He'll still be able to get some separation, and our bounty, well, he'll go down, and still they're able to get the refill as well from Kiyotaka. So a bit of a messy engagement in the end.
Again, those are the sorts of plays that you need to make, though, right? And the one that is going to be happiest about all of this is Shurgrat up on the top lane. Finally, he doesn't have to deal with 3 heroes in his face because they were forced to make that triple rotation towards the mid lane. It means that he gets a few levels for himself. He'll have level 5 now, and it's much harder for the Faceless Void to come back into this lane, even with 3 points in the Time Warp. So I just wonder, like, are they just going to go up again towards the top side now that Viper's a little bit more of a scary menace here for the lane? Oh no, I was about to say, is Bexon about to steal away the Wisdom Rune, but Antares is in position to make sure that doesn't happen.
These runes are going to be ever so vital this game, right? With that trial lane. I mean, you take a look at some of the levels, Antares is in the 3. The solo's level 3 as well. So every game, the wisdom runes are incredibly important. But I feel like, especially in this game in particular, with that trial lane.
Oh, absolutely. And, well, they should both get level 4 off the back of this. What's that going to provide them? Probably not an early point in Taser required. Just want to buff up a little bit of that burst damage. Same sort of thing for the Jakiro. Just value point in the Ice Path is going to be really value too for if they do look to try and continue this this tri lane up top. Does he have a TP on the bounty? No. So Bexon was actually trying to make that TP down bot so that he could get this steal off, but won't end up working out in his favor. And Nero is just rushing that Blink Dagger, huh? Feels like he's the one that's going to need to be able to lock down the Viper or the Storm Spirit. Initial burst.
He can't lane now with that solo kill. There is a huge disparity in the net worth between the two, even though there's only a level. I'm kind of surprised he's not continuing to pull the wave, but maybe at this stage he's concerned about some extra rotations down to bottom. So we're actually going to see some of them towards the river. Trying to fight over that 8-minute timing. Will actually be a region up top though, so no one's going to secure it, but it looks like Kiyotaka looking for the kill into Bexon. Another deny. They're going to get it. So Sonic Wave expended, and they will not be rewarded at all for 9Pandas.
Oh, they've got the double bounty rune as well for the Storm Spirit to be able to pick up, so nice little bounty for him. Also, just with Mary sitting in the mid lane, so important for him to hit up onto his level 6, right? You talked about the importance of the Wisdom Runes just for the purpose of experience, but, I mean, if you can afford to give a free lane to a support, even just for a minute or so, just get him to rush up into that level 6 and opens up the map for you so much, right? Yep. Like, if EEU are able to get the track plus the life drain available, their potential for rotations on the Ramses.
Yeah, hang on. Does he have enough damage, though? See if it's going to be enough. The double... Oh, so close. Is that enough at level 1 to get the double stun on Shadow
Nah.
Walk?
Fade time is way too long.
Okay.
It's not like before where you could, like, cast the Shadow Walk and then during the fade time get the bonus damage. Solo's dead.
That is indeed.
Valuable XP. Yeah, you actually need to wait to be fully invisible to get the benefits out of the stun. So, when I say 3.2 seconds, I mean a maxed out Shadow Walk is going to do that because you can guaranteed land it. It depends on your attack speed as well.
Okay, because I was going to ask next, like when is it guaranteed? What level do you need on the Shadow Walk? But yeah, like you said, I guess it's a little bit more dependent on some other things as well. Overall, though, this second game, there's some really good signs of life from EEU. I mean, this game is very much even. We're even trying to put some pressure onto Kiyotaka. Let's see if they're going to be able to get the kill. Chiro Jr. doesn't really have the mana to follow up, but at least it's going to be able to zone the Queen of Pain away from this power rune. So even though they don't get the kill, they're still going to get a lot of value out of that.
You've also got Mary. Now he's got enough for the energy booster. I'm not sure who was the one that actually made these stacks. It looks like it was Pugner for Chira Jr. So again, that's going to give him a bit of an XP boost. He's even going to stand by so that he gets the shared XP plus the stacking bonus, plus the gold bonus as well. So now Mary, it's 10.5 minutes. Not quite a level 6, but he's damn close.
Bottom, Bexion's going for an infest. Oh, nice read from Antares. They're going to see the bounty hunter, but surely they haven't got a life sword to work against as well. And this is not going to be a way to cancel the TP from Mira, so he'll escape. But you get the kill onto the techies. You force the axe away, so that's going to continue to slow down his blink timing. And importantly, getting experience for the bounty closer towards that 6.
Yep. I was almost thinking that they were going to continue to commit up onto this top side. They had the siege creep available. They have Shogun at level 7. Probably one of the strongest timings for a Viper to have in this super early point. Only 500 or so gold away from the Rod of Atos as well. Could have potentially taken out that tier 1 tower top, but maybe just a little bit scared of the Chronosphere plus the Quap TP. Kiyotaka doesn't actually have a TP though, so I wonder if they do scout that out, that they will look to make some sort of move like what I was just mentioning. Even Techie's just TP bot as well, so they look to continue this dive, or will it just be Mary clinking the tower down? Oh, you gotta get the last two.
They are looking like they want to gear up for a defense, so they've got Chrono and Macropie ready, and they're even going to smoke as well with 2 across the map. It's going to take them a long time to get here, though. So a fight might break out before we see the +2 from the boys on Pandas.
Storm's just waiting. They're waiting to see where the move happens. Looks like he's going to go mid. Has to be very careful, though.
Uh-oh. They should have plenty of damage. And oh, they actually don't. Okay.
Just level 1 blast off.
Once again, the rune, that's going to go over to Aleikum, and now with the zip-in from Chira Jr., he's able to get away as well, avoiding the ice path, and Appellant Teamos wants to chase down Solo, so a double kill going to be given over to Aleikum. Very nicely done.
They're still, they're begging for this bounty hunter to have that level 6. He's just hanging around saying, please, let this creep wave be the one, but he's a little far away, and Tech, he's getting dived too. Alright, that'll be the level 6 for sure on Bexon, so very, very nicely done. I mean, we were saying that Storm Spirit needs to have a much better time than expected out of that laning stage, and Chira Jr. did exactly that. Off the back of that solo kill, off the back of a bunch of stacks that Pugner were able to make for him. They've even taken the first 2 towers of the game, so this is a really solid team performance coming out from Aleikum. This is what Bexon was wanting to be doing the whole time. Just be a menace around this faceless void. See if you can hang around for long enough for that Rod of Atos to start to come into effect. And just with that 1 point in the Shadow Walk, it should be enough for them to be able to get the singular right-click in, then get the Atos, then get the second use of the Shadow Walk there to be able to get that full-on lockdown.
Mira, who does he want to jump? He's got the boys behind him. It's going to be Aleikum that start the fight, though. So the Axe is in a little bit of trouble. A zip from afar, a lot of attention put onto Mira. They're going to be able to secure the kill. They still have the Chrono at the ready, the Macapire as well, but Pandas, they're getting zoned away. Palantimus once again looking to get involved early on.
There's the battery coming through. Oh, Mary has to be a little bit careful about staying a bit too deep. And yeah, like you said, with that Macropire plus Chronosphere, they're a little bit worried about overstaying their welcome.
That's the second attempt now from Pandas where they weren't able to use their spells in conjunction together. And now Chira Jr. once again going to try and target down with the squishy supports. Got to be cautious though. Ramses was ready with the Chrono. Doesn't want to drop it just yet. Chira Jr. is able to get it plenty of distance away, but the time walks back up. You don't want to continue in pursuit though, so it has to be
got the kill on Chira for sure if he went for that dive. I didn't actually see if Decrep was available or not, but yeah, they would have had the damage, I think, after that fact. Maybe just with the Jakiro dying, no Macropire, meant that they felt a little bit less secure of the fact that they would be able to confirm the kill.
Man, I wonder if you smoke again. That'd be your 3rd smoke in a very, very recent time. So we'll see what the choice is going to be from Pandas though. But with this incredible early start from Aleikum, and we see from the odds from EGB, it's very, very close. So slightly favoring Pandas, but so it's a much better start than what we saw from Aleikum in game 1.
Ramsey's able to pick up the Wisdom Rim for himself though, so that's a nice little bonus. As hasn't exactly had the easiest time there, but moving the kobold next to him. You know, every little bit of GPM counts, okay? 20 GPM means a lot for this man. He's a greedy boy.
Because
they know that it's wanted as well, though. With Bexon just moving close enough by, they're pinging out the fact that up on the high ground there's probably some sort of vision.
if Ramses gets to the late game, do we feel like he can just carry this game with the matchups that he has?
Faceless Void against, like, in 99% of ultra late game always wins, in my opinion. Like, it is the best late game hero.
So, I mean, there's a lot of space. Ramses still, he hasn't died just yet, which is a big thing as well. Chiro Jr., 5-1, can add another kill to the tally. They're hanging on the outset, though. Mirror's at the ready. They're going to, of course, need more boys to be able to blow up Chiro Jr. inside the call. Even Ramses want to try and swing on over with the potential of the chrono. They still want to chase, though, but the man is falling low. Chiro Jr., last little remaining resource able to get the zip away, but Kiyotaka's in some trouble. They might need a defensive chrono to get him out, but Ramses, he doesn't know what to do. Will finally use the ultimate. He's going to take out Ramses. Oh, just gets the time walk away, but again, Pandas, they're using all their abilities and just getting no kills out of them.
Yeah, and they're also getting a bounty hunter infested, just looking to chase down this axe right now. They know where they've got the vision, so he has to be careful of where he's pathing in the lane. It's actually just going to be under that rune ward, excuse me. Ooh, might find him. Yes, he does.
Miro. Dude, he's got Radiance.
Yep.
Oh my god.
If bounty hunters' lanes go well, this is what can happen. If a storm beats a matchup that it shouldn't, this is what can happen, especially when it's a storm that's been enabled by this Pugnus. So I think biggest props this game need to be given to Chiro. Like, yeah, it was impressive that Palantimos was able to get that solo kill, but we have to remember that with second pick, they gave Chiro Jr. the potential to have a really bad matchup, and he still is making gold out of it.
Yes. And just everyone else as well through this game with what they've been able to do to withstand these early attempts from Pandas, because they really need kills as dire lineup. Like, you have the potential to blow people up with an Axe Call into Sonic Wave into Macropie with the Techies Burst. Like, they've been attempting, we've seen multiple times smoke on smokes, but they haven't been rewarded, so it's slowing down their farm. That's a big reason why they're continuing to fall this far behind. Now it's like they're just trying to avoid at all costs. I mean, Kiyotaka's incredibly far behind. You've got this Midas on the Faceless Void. So, again, Radiant's catch is a little bit lacking. So just try and split up the map as best as you can. But they haven't been able to open up a tower just yet. So it's not even going to make it that easier for 9Pandas to play this split pushing game. And well, they see Ramses under the ward as well. It's a long zip in for Storm Spirit. It's going to have the time walk to be able to repair some of the damage.
Pugna to repair the damage done to you, so you're A-okay just to make another move. That's the fresh Kyra and Sanj picked up as well, so even Chiro on his own is able to do a fair amount. I was a little silent before because I was just having a look over at Miro. He had a pretty decent laning stage. Obviously that solo kill doesn't feel that great, as he's actually about to get dived. They should know that they've got the vision here to be able to play around with, considering he did go for that instant blink away. He took quite a while to be able to confirm that he wanted the Ring of Aquila off of his tier 2 neutral item. That's the sign to me if someone's stressed, if they just don't notice something that is quote-unquote obvious for quite some time, you know?
Lifesteal doesn't even pop out, so, I mean, Chiro was easily able to get the kill into solo. Had the Arcane Rune as well, so still... There's plenty left in the tank if he wants to look for another. They still have this ward as well over at the triangle.
Yeah, he's making his move towards where the Pugna is, so that if they do find a pick-off, he's there to be able to support him. He's just tanking a lot of these mines as well. Oh, they actually see Ramses.
And they should be able to blow him up throughout the stun lock. Very nicely done. This time they're going to be on the mark, and that is that first death of the game as well for Ramses. So it feels like their way back in is really off the back of how much farm the Faceless Void's able to get. And on top, they might be able to get the kill into Bexon. Miro, nice read. Somehow they...
What?
Oh,
he's not dusted.
Okay, yeah. He's gonna...
He walked into it, but he's fine. They don't have any vision around the area. Love this, the ward spot as well, next to the Mighty Mines. I think that is the mine itself, up at the very top of the map.
That's how we enter Ag's Labyrinth with the upcoming Battle Pass.
True.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
I have inside information, just so you know.
I feel like Little guys should pop out of that door, you know?
Why little guys?
I don't know. It's not a very big door.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
The dwarven home. They are one with the mines.
That is true.
Dire's
Do we even
bottom
have...
tower
The
is
sniper's a
under
dwarf,
attack.
right? Do we have any others?
We got like gnomes, like the keen folk, like Tinker and Clockwork and stuff.
Ramses, oh, not a second death back to back. This would be disastrous. Ramses can even get away with the time walk, not to be once again. Another kill. Oh man, that's just huge. Aleikum, what do they want to do now? 35 seconds without the carry. Solo, even outside the base as well, was able to force him, but it's not enough to protect him.
And they can just keep the aggressive glyph. Why not? This is the way that I would be looking to play. You've got a siege creep available. You've got a storm with double damage. They're not sticking around though. Maybe feeling like they're getting a little bit too greedy here. And Taris is able to steal away the wisdom rune on the bottom side of the map. Could TP if he wants. He was a little slow to do it. Why'd he wait so long?
As a result, they're going to be able to get the kill and get more gold as well, thanks to the bounty track. So, and Jared Jr.'s got a stack as well to continue farming up. Meanwhile, on the opposite side of the map, Palatinos is completely split from the boys, but what are they going to do to slow him down? Solo's there, but it's not going to matter.
They even TP'd through on Kiyotaka just to be able to potentially get that kill, but yeah, like you said, able to just get away inside of the, what is that? Ice Shaman? Ancient Ice
Dire's
Shaman?
top tower is under attack.
Sure, let's go with that.
Yes, it is.
I'll ask you a question. Have you ever seen a game where
Dire's top tower is
something
under
has,
attack.
like, the outcome of a game has actually been influenced by the creeps leveling up now?
The jungle has everything.
Like, it
Axe
wouldn't
desire.
have made a difference at the 30-minute mark, but it did at the 45 or whatever.
I imagine, I'd say so, right? I mean, with the, before the B patch where Chen was incredibly popular because of all the, because you remember the patch where they, the letter patch where they just nerfed all the neutrals and like their numbers because we were just seeing like Chen Enchantress, so I feel like definitely then that would, you would say so, but I don't know as much now.
I wonder, like, I just look at some of the busted creeps over the years, like I'm having a look at Harpy Scout now.
Dire's bottom
It only
tower
has a
is under
10%
attack.
movement speed penalty at max level. And yeah, you need to be playing Chen to be able to make that happen, but still, it's kind of busted to get that much vision.
Yeah, you surprised we're not seeing the Chen as much anymore? It feels like, I mean, that hero's just completely fallen out of popularity.
I think it's just
Dire's
way too
bottom
strong,
tower is
in
under
my opinion.
attack.
Like, the push is good, the
Radiant's
creeps are
middle
great,
tower
it can
is under
farm
attack.
this big map so effectively. I'm not really sure why it's fallen out quite so much. Like, this game it would have felt pretty solid to me.
Yeah?
Just
They're gonna have
just
the
carry,
damage
remember.
without the macropile? They forced out the rage though, which is pretty
that
important.
ward.
They're gonna get a glimpse of Kiyotaka on the right side. Valentimos shrugging off a lot of the damage. Krona's gonna be there, but great infest! And now they're still able to get Ramses! Oh, disastrous team fight from Pandas, and now Mira's still gonna be in with the call, but there is just zero
They don't have the
follow-up.
damage.
They are way too far behind to be able to bring down some of the members of Aleikum, and they're going to be able to clean up deep under the tier 4 towers. They look to
Give
go
him some more mana.
It's a 5-man wipe in, and wow, they're going to call it quits 23 minutes in.
I would probably say for Aleikum, if you told them at the start of this that this game would be going to 3 series, they would be feeling pretty happy. I think if you said game 1 is going to result in an 18-minute GG, they'd be like, well, really? Did we do that bad? But 24 minutes in game number 2 against 9Pandas, and it looks pretty convincing as well. What I love about it is that they just ticked all of the boxes that we were wanting, right? They recognized that the issue was the side lanes. They said that Shira Jr. did a pretty good job in game number 1 into what was still probably a losing matchup. So they gave it to him again, gave him the challenge to be able to overcome it. He did. He gets that solo kill. You get a solo kill on Palantimos as well over Miero, and it's just counter picks across the lanes as well. Even with that Faceless Void towards the very end and the Viper, we weren't 100% convinced. We thought that maybe the tri-lane from 9Pandas would be enough to be able to beat it out. But what do Aleikum do? They say, you know what? Lifesteal is going to have a great 1v1 matchup. Let's just come up here as a tri-lane for ourselves. They still got first blooded, but overall, it was a really solid performance by them just to be able to rectify some of the early mistakes.
Yeah, and It's now a question if is this momentum going to be a pivotal factor for them heading into this third game, because that is their first map victory overall of the summer tour, and what a team to be able to take down as well in pretty goddamn convincing fashion in 23 minutes in. So we'll see if they're going to be able to replicate that. That's a big thing. I mean, we were speaking a lot of that lanes need to go their way, and is that again something we need to look forward to with this upcoming draft for Aleikum to put a lot of emphasis on?
I'm going to need to see second pick prioritized again for them. Like, I think it's not... They're not experienced enough as a team, and I don't think they have enough of a wide array of strategies that first pick with that, like, unbeatable 8th pick is going to be enough for them. You know, like... I just think you just got to do whatever wins you the lanes and sets you up for victory the best. And if they went for the exact same sort of strategy, give a pretty decent, comfortable mid pick, and then counter the side lanes in order that they appear, I'm all for it. So let's see if they're able to do it. I wonder if we'll get over 30 minutes next time.
I don't know. Well, we had a 18-minute game one. Now, this game was GG before the 24-minute mark, so Aleikum beautifully done. Yeah, I wasn't quite sure. I was hesitant with them picking their mid hero early on, but Chira Jr. Completely performed at an incredible level. So maybe now heading into the next game, we could see another Pugna Storm Spirit first phase from them, with them being able to take down. Yeah, go for it.
One point before we go. I just got to say congrats to the 5% of people that bet their Discord points on Aleikum. I was not one of them. After that game one, I was like, oh, this is the freest points of all time. All in on 9Pandas, and well, rip me, I'm down to 0 again.
Down to 0.
Those people are going to be very, very happy.
That's right. At least it's a long tour. We can get those channel points back up. But for Aleikum, a beautiful game. They're going to be able to even up the series here. We're going to a game 3. We'll see you guys after the break.